Yo, what's up, guys? And sincerest apologies for being late. I am a couple moments late here. I was struggling and grappling with trying to secure a flight. So sorry for you guys who have been patiently waiting to join me here on a special edition of Skap Live in the afternoon. It has been kind of a frantic day. Many thanks for those of you who have not departed because of my tardiness. There's just a lot of things I'd like to discuss in the NBA world and a lot of stuff. So it would be a very long video. So instead of producing a lengthy video detailing all of the ins and outs of what's happening right now in NBA free agency, I figure I would just hop on a live stream here, a special date and time in the PM afternoon, early, I should say, late afternoon, kind of not quite evening, but hopefully you guys can find your way here. Some of you are already joining on here. So welcome in to those of you who are joining me now. I do, unlike last time when I was on vacation in Georgia, if you guys joined me for the last live stream, moderator Gary was not available, I just didn't ask him in time for him to come and join us on the last one, but Gary is here now. So everybody welcome in moderator Gary. Gary, say hello to everyone.
You need to address me by my proper name.
Would that be Gaslighter Gary?
Yes.
Okay, so moderator Gary is no longer moderator Gary. He is now going by Gaslighter Gary only. So welcome in to him. And guys, I don't really know exactly where to get started. I think maybe just to take you through, a day in my life at this point of NBA free agency and what it looks like. I basically wake up every morning and I check ESPN.com and I'm like, I wonder where Al Horford has signed finally today or last night, overnight maybe. Then the secondary thing I'm looking for is I wonder what the buyout arrangement that Bradley Beal has reached with the Phoenix Suns. I wonder what that looks like. And then secondarily, where is Bradley Beal going to join now in free agency? Let me figure that out. So those are the two primary things I'm looking at. Then if you haven't heard this little bit of news, this tidbit, Chris Paul, I didn't see the actual interview because Jemele Hill conducted it. Now, if any of you guys know who Jemele Hill is or don't know, let me just explain that she is one of the most insufferable human beings on the face of planet Earth. I will never watch a single thing that contains Jemele Hill, any interview, show, special, whatever it might be. There will never be me. I will never be watching anything that she does. She had some kind of an interview on some panel of some sort that included CP3, Chris Paul, a.k.a. the alleged point god, where he announced that this upcoming season, breaking news, Chris Paul retirement tour. So this year will be Chris Paul's last. So now I wake up, so I'm thinking, Al Horford, where is he going? Bradley Beal, where is he going? Chris Paul, I wonder where he signed. That would be nowhere, and nowhere. They're like, what is happening here? What is taking this process so long with these three guys? So that essentially is the crux of kind of what I want to discuss through the lens of, you guys know I'm a big Nuggets guy. You know I like Nikola Jokic. So I feel like Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets are somehow intrinsically entwined with maybe several of these players. And when I did join you last from Georgia, from the Lake House, and we discussed the frenetic occurrences of NBA free agency, then I talked about the Denver Nuggets and what the big moves they were doing, they were making. Just to recap that, if you guys weren't on that show, or if you haven't, been paying attention to what the Denver Nuggets have done, they actually have done a lot in this offseason, which is huge news in and of itself because they typically do nothing. The last 2 or 3 years, they've done nothing in the offseason or during the season. So the fact that they're doing anything at all, it comes of pretty big note. But the fact that these moves are good, by and large, is even more of a breath of fresh air, for any Nuggets fans out there, and particularly Nikola Jokic, who, by the way, Nikola Jokic just turned down a monster contract extension. He had on the table 3 years and $200 million right now, or not right now, but coming up. I think he'll be eligible to sign that in 2 weeks. He has informed the Denver Nuggets that he will not be signing that extension. That's more of a strategic move to make more money probably next summer. If he holds off on signing the extension until next summer, it becomes 4 years and $272 million. So it will make him an extra $72 million if he does not sign this specific contract extension and holds out till next summer. I wouldn't look in on the fact that he didn't sign that to be any kind of a message sent to the organization, any kind of an ultimatum. Although it might be, at least it applies the pressure, keeps the pressure applied to the Denver Nuggets front office to continue to upgrade and continue to make, some kind of additions to this roster over the next year. And really, it just puts pressure on the team that they have built to give Nikola Jokic the adequate amount of supporting cast so that they can do something of note, achieve something, accomplish something in the postseason this year, unlike the last 2 years in those 2 second-round exits. However, though, getting back to the front office, they have been active. They trade the festering turd, Michael Porter Jr., one of the most abysmal and pathetic contracts we have seen in the NBA in recent memory. They get him and his $80 million for the next 2 years off the books, send his ass to Brooklyn, and then they bring back Cam Johnson, who is an upgrade, in my estimation, a significant upgrade to MPJ. And he's making about $37 million less over the next 2 seasons. So in addition to being an upgrade on the court, they're saving money. They're getting outside of the apron, outside of actually the luxury tax threshold. So they freed up a bunch of additional funds, which they've been putting to work. They signed Bruce Brown back. So he comes back from their championship team in 2023. Great addition there. And then I believe they got, was it Tim Hardaway Jr. as well, who was like a 12, 13 point per game scorer last year. He can fill it up. He can add some 3-point outside shooting for the Nuggets, which I believe they were last in the NBA last year. So Hardaway will definitely add to that and help improve that metric for the Denver Nuggets. But another huge addition, a sneaky under the radar addition that I don't know enough people were talking about when it happened, was they also shed the heinous ass contract of Dario Saric, made $5.5 million last year to play in 16 games. I don't think he played in a single postseason game. And they owe him $5.5 million next year as well. They get rid of him, send him to Sacramento, and bring back Jonas Valanciunas, which, oh my God, an actual backup for Nikola Jokic. Finally, for basically the first time in the last 5 years of Nikola Jokic's prime, he's going to have a viable backup. And hell, who knows? You can play two big man centric starting lineups, I think, too. You can play Valanciunas and Nikola Jokic at the same time, go really big with Aaron Gordon there, maybe downshift him to the 3. And that's have Cam in there, at 2, and then Jamal Murray at the 1. So they could go big and play that lineup as well. Anyway, the Nuggets have really filled out their bench. But the final point on Jonas Valanciunas, there has been, Gary, I don't know if you've heard this, but there has been some kind of rival competition from the Greek team. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, but there is a famed Greek basketball powerhouse. And Jonas Valanciunas allegedly has verbally committed to join that Greek team and was seeking permission to be bought out of his existing contract with the Nuggets, or waived, stretched, something. Essentially, he's asking to be let out of the contract so he can go overseas and play for Greece. So that's thrown a monkey in the wrench here. And some have been speculating that maybe the Nuggets were working on such a buyout or a stretch provision They were then going to go and get involved in the Al Horford sweepstakes, which now that brings in why I'm discussing Al Horford and everything that's going on with this bizarre inactivity with some key free agents that are still looming on the market out there. And, word is, speculation has it, people close to the situation will have you believe that Al Horford has made his decision and that he will not be returning to Boston. And he is now trying to decide between the Golden State Warriors or the Denver Nuggets, but he can't really make that decision till the Denver Nuggets make their decision on what they're doing with Jonas Valanciunas. Allegedly, according to sources, again, close to the situation within Denver, the front office of Denver, their front office has informed Valanciunas' reps that they expect Jonas to honor that contract, to show up for work when camp opens this summer, and to, fulfill his obligations this upcoming season and be a member of the Denver Nuggets and be a backup, finally, that big, most important backup for Nikola Jokic. So that seems to kind of be the deciding factor on at least the Nuggets front. Who knows? They do still have $5 million available to utilize. So they might still want to get in maybe on an Al Horford qualifying offer, or maybe even a Bradley Beal offer. But the Bradley Beal offer, look, Horford is a free agent. He can sign wherever he wants, whenever he wants. Apparently, retirement is still in the considerations for Al Horford, which what are we doing here, Al? Like, what are you waiting for, Al Horford? What could you possibly be waiting for at this stage? I don't understand. That's why I thought maybe the Nuggets piece made sense if the Nuggets were delaying and maybe talking to Horford off the record, saying, like, let us figure out the Valanciunas piece, like, give us some time, don't sign anywhere right yet. So, but if that's not happening, then what could Al Horford possibly be waiting for? I don't know. Maybe still mulling retirement. The Bradley Beal piece, though, he ain't free. He can't just sign wherever he wants, whenever he wants, like Al Horford. He needs to be bought out. And guys, check this. He is still owed $113 million. Could there possibly be, I talk about the Michael Porter Jr. contract off and the Jamal Murray contract off, and could there be a worse contract looming out there in the NBA right now than Bradley Beal, who is making $50 million annually? He still is owed $113 million. He plays like half the year at this point. He's still only 32, though, sneakily young. Anyway, though, he was like 5 days ago, there was news that he was nearing a buyout with Phoenix, where he was going to give back like 13 or 14 million. And then Phoenix was going to stretch him, similar to the deal that you saw Milwaukee come to with Damian Lillard. I was hearing it was going to be a 5-year stretch on Bradley Beal. So he was going to give back 13 million of the 113, then take the stretch to get roughly $20 million a year for the next 5 years to just go away, at which point Bradley Beal then would hit the free agent market and he could sign anywhere for any amount. Chances would be likely he would be signing for some vet minimum or mid-level exception. He would basically be playing for free next year for whatever team he decided to sign with, because, well, Phoenix is paying him $100 million already. So that opens up a whole slew of potential contenders, most notably the Clippers. A lot of people speculate that Beal will be going to the Clippers, and one of the reasons why the speculation is that they even have a handshake agreement with Beal, because the Clippers mysteriously made this big trade. Gary, did you see this trade the other day? I want to get the exact parameters of it.
Between who? The Clippers and
so you're talking about Norman Powell out of town.
And John
it's a 3-team NBA. It's a 3-team trade. I just typed in Norman Powell and I see Norman Powell felt betrayed by what the LA Clippers told him before trading him. So anyway, Norman Powell goes to Miami. Let me get the exact. It's a 3-team trade. So let me get the exact parameters up. So he goes to Miami. Let's see here. Miami was able to get Powell out of LA reasonably low price. I'm just really looking for the exact specs of this deal. The skinny of it mainly is the Clippers get John Collins, the Heat get Norman Powell. I'm trying to see what the third team. Okay, Heat get Norman Powell via Clippers. Clippers get John Collins via Jazz. Jazz get Kevin Love via Heat. Believe it or not, Kevin Love's still in the NBA. Kyle Anderson also going to Utah via Heat, and a 2027 second round pick via the Clippers. That's what the Jazz get back in the package. So a 3-team deal involving the Heat, Clippers, and Jazz. The crux of the deal, though, for the two teams that matter, in my estimation, the Heat get Norman Powell for essentially nothing. Great job by Pat Riley showing he still got it. And the Clippers get John Collins. But here is where Bradley Beal comes into play, because that is a mysterious ass trade on the surface. Like, why would you trade Norman Powell away for John Collins? It makes no damn sense on the surface. So people in the know are speculating that the Clippers have been wheeling and dealing behind the scenes. And look, let me just bring Chris Paul into the picture here. Let me get him into the focus of this conversation as well, which is why I kind of am discussing all of these guys in unison: Horford, Beal, and Chris Paul, because Chris Paul, for his retirement tour, his final year at, I guess he's going to be 40 or 41 this season, he wants to allegedly remain close to home. It's very important for him to be near his family, to be close to his family, and home is LA. So a lot of people now reading the tea leaves are suggesting that Chris Paul wants to go to the Lakers or the Clippers. The Clippers making the most sense, specifically because he played there for several years. So the Clippers, trying to make all of this work, get Chris Paul and Bradley Beal, had to shed Norman Powell to make it all happen. So that is where we're at right now. But for whatever reason, none of it is happening. Like I said, I wake up every morning. The last thing I do before I go to bed is I go to ESPN.com. I see nothing. I then go to X and start fishing around. I type in all three of those people's names, fish around there, nothing. Then the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is repeat that process. ESPN.com, see if there's any report. Then no, okay, I go to X and look around for any kind of news reports involving any of the three of them. And there's just been nothing for days and days and days. We're just in this bizarre holding pattern, which leads me to believe that maybe the Clippers don't have these arrangements all sorted out, that they're not ready to lock in these guys. So, and apparently, again, this is the report that Al Horford, he's not involved with the Clippers, but he's apparently, again, according to sources, looking for a pen to sign the deal with the Warriors. That's how close he is to joining up with the Warriors, but it just doesn't happen. So I'm just left to wonder what the hell is going on here with these three players. Obviously, these guys are humongous names. Yes, they're longer in the tooth now. These are all older players. Even Bradley Beal, I guess he's only 32. However, it doesn't seem like he's been a very relevant player for years. Though if he is your 5th or 6th option on a team, that's still pretty good. If you can get him for 45, 50 games a year and then into the playoffs as your 5th or 6th option, several contenders out there would take Bradley Beal. I know the Lakers are interested. The Nuggets are interested. The Clippers obviously are interested. So, guys, I'm just curious. I just wanted to get on here, talk this out, hash it out with you guys, see if there's any speculation from anybody out there in the comments thread as to what potentially might be going on with any one of these three guys. Gary, what say you? Do you have any expectations or conspiracy theories as to what might possibly be going on with any one of these three players, that being Al Horford, Chris Paul, or Bradley Beal? I just don't know. Let me just hear your quick take, Gary, while I go on here real fast and check ESPN again as to what I continually keep saying I'm doing all day, every day. Still nothing. Just nothing for these three players. I don't know, Gary. What do you think?
I've been doing the same thing you. I just keep waiting to hear some new headlines, and there isn't much. What's caught my attention is that these contracts are just getting insane. This Devin Booker and this Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren is getting $50 million a year.
It's not just Gary. It's not just $50 million a year. It's 5 years, $250 million. So it's $250 million overall. And that is, I don't know if you saw this contract. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander just signed a 4-year, $285 million contract like a week or two ago. So What I'm saying to you here, Gary, is that's what, $535 million over the next 5 years now committed to 2 players that the Oklahoma City Thunder has dished out. That's a lot of cash, Gary. Half a bill, more than half a bill for the next 5 years for 2 guys. That's a lot. And I know they're committed. Let me just pull up their price sheet. They are committed, I know, to Caruso for like 3 years at least. They're committed to Hartenstein for like 3 or 4 years at least. So let me just pull that up.
And where is this going to leave Jalen Williams, though? Because you think that he's going to get a payday as well.
He is certainly going to get a payday, Gary. Let's see what he's at, so Shai is now, guaranteed monies through 2028. Hartenstein, I'm sorry, through the end of 2027. Hartenstein also guaranteed. Oh, man, Hartenstein's making like $30 million a year. So, man, Shai's new contract has not been activated yet in this portal that I'm looking at. He's actually going to be contracted through 2028. Hartenstein is contracted for the next 2 years at $30 million roughly a year. Lou Dort is making $18 million a year for the next 2 years. Isaiah Joe is making $12 million a year for the next 3 years. Holmgren now is secure for the next 5 years at roughly $50 million. And then Caruso, like I said, he is making $20 million a year through 2029. So, I mean, these
how are they going to pay Jalen? Because he's only making $4 million currently. So he's obviously on a very cheap contract that we know is going to go up by probably 8 to 10, maybe even 12 times as much.
I'm actually shocked that Jalen Williams has not been in the slew of these contracts that we just mentioned that have been doled out. $530 million guaranteed dollars in the last 2 weeks to 2 guys. I'm shocked that Jalen Williams doesn't have his big contract. I would imagine that, Gary, will be the next shoe to drop here because right now, Jalen Williams, he made $4 million this year. That's $4 million for an all-star, all-NBA third team, all-NBA defense second team performer who averaged 23 points per game in the NBA Finals with, as we know now, ligament damage in his wrist. He had, I think, 2 surgeries or something to repair his wrist, and he took a multitude of injections seemingly every game into the wrist throughout the playoff run. So what now do you owe that guy who is set to make, he has one year left. It's a team option for next season, $6.5 million. That's it. So you pay him $6.5 million for a team option next year if you want. I would be shocked if they didn't throw him some massive extension, some 5-year, $250 million extension right now too. Why would you try to hardball that guy, take him into next season when you're paying Shai $70 million a year and Holmgren $50 million a year? Why would you hardball this guy at $6 million next year? He'll just walk. You'll just lose him. So my expectation is that will be the next shoe to drop, Gary, that within the next couple days, we're going to be seeing that Jalen Williams has now been extended as well for this massive $250 to $300 million extension. So at that point, Gary, what are we talking about here? The Oklahoma City Thunder paying 3 dudes like 150 plus million annually for like 5 years. That's a lot of commitment. And they've got, like I said, Lou Dort at 17 mil. Isaiah Hartenstein at 30 million. Like, where is this money? Where is all this money coming from? Like, they're going to be paying people their salary cap. They're going to be like, is there a third apron? Like, they're going to be their books are going to be insane. They're going to be like, the salary cap this year is 154 million. They're going to be paying 3 dudes 150 million. So, and then the other dude, like Lou Dort at 17, Caruso at 28. Like, and I think the odd man out here, Gary, which we haven't mentioned, it's going to be Cason Wallace. Cason Wallace, the young stud. Let me see what he has left. Okay, I mean, he has okay, so he still is good for 2 years at very low money. $5.5 million next year, $7 million the following year. They won't be able to extend him though. They won't be able to re-sign Cason Wallace, and who knows? He is a young budding stud. So who knows? What he might become. The other thing is, I've mentioned this name before often. Nikola Topic is a name that I was obsessed with last year in the last draft. I thought he was arguably, it was a weak draft. I thought he was arguably the best player in the draft last year. He was young though. He's only 18 years old, and he had a knee injury pop up near the draft. I think he tore his ACL like right around the draft. So knowing he was going to miss the entire season, that kind of tanked his draft stock a tad bit. I think he would have probably been the 3rd or 4th pick overall. Instead, he dropped to whatever, the 11th-ish pick. And that pick was made by Oklahoma City. And now that he's had a full year to recover, Gary, I don't know if you've seen it, Nikola Topic has been looking pretty scary in the summer league right now. I know it's difficult to try to translate or predict, from the summer league into regular season success. But Nikola Topic looks like a serviceable player that will be a big rotation piece for the Oklahoma City Thunder by the playoffs. I'm not saying early on. He still is very, very young. He's still working back from injury, and they are stacked, and they have a plethora of other great players. They go 10 deep as it is. But by the time the playoffs begin, Nikola Topic is going to be a factor for Oklahoma City, I think, and he could be a big factor for them in the postseason. But Gary, he is contractually secured. Nikola Topic is until 2028. So really, there's only Aaron Wiggins is under until 2028. So I mean, really, it's honestly Cason Wallace is going to be the odd man out whenever it is. They probably, I would estimate, will trade him before he comes up for extension, try to just get something, get like a draft pick or two for him and send him on somewhere else, because I think Cason Wallace could be a potential star in the NBA, and they just don't have enough space in the cap to sign him. But Gary, yes, we kind of went down an Oklahoma City rabbit hole here, but yes, the contracts are out of control. They are absurd. You mentioned the Devin Booker deal. I saw Devin Booker signs a $145 million contract in historic extension. I'm like, what's historic about 145? It's only 2 years. So 2 years, $145 for Devin Booker. Guys, I'm not good at simple math. That's like $73 million annually. That is insane. $73 million a year for Devin Booker, who, what's he have? One All-NBA team selection? One? I think he was a first team. I think he was first team All-NBA 1 year. And then he was, I think, third team another year. So 2 All-NBA team selections. Let me see here. Devin Booker, 10 years, 10 in the NBA. And I love Devin Booker, but 10 years in the NBA, he's been an all-star 4 times. 4 all-stars out of 10 seasons. He's been all-NBA first team, like I said, once. That was all the way back, though, all of a sudden in 2021, 2022. Then he was all-NBA third team in 2023, 2024. So in the last 3 seasons, he has made 1 all-star team and he has made 1 all-NBA third team selection. That's it. In the last 3 seasons, for a guy 10 years in that's going to now be making $73 million a year. Holy shit. I wish I worked harder when I was younger on my jump shot, although I would have been too old anyway. I would be out of the NBA age range anyway at this point. But guys, if you're out there, if you're young, if you're like, whatever, if you're still in school age, work on your jump shot, work on your handles. If you have a young kid, or if you're planning to start a family anytime soon, get the ball in their hand at a very early age, because the money is insane right now.
Even if you suck, you can make $5 million a year.
It's crazy, Gary. I'm an NBA content creator, right? I do this like as a job. Like this is now I'm a professional like NBA content creator, whatever. I cover the NBA like professionally, so I should not be admitting this, Gary. I'm going to admit it though. Damn it, I've seen contracts this summer in the last couple days. Really, only one, but. And I can't even remember his name now. I saw a guy sign a contract for like 4 years and $100 million. No idea who it was. I'd never heard of the guy's name before. And I'm like I am really dialed into the NBA. Like I'm as plugged in, I think, as anybody, honestly, even like the people you see on ESPN. But
can you recall who it is at this point, or you still forgot?
I'm trying to think of the name right now. It was some 7-foot white guy that was.
Wait! You're not talking about Lou Cormett, 4-year for $40 million.
Yeah, he got 4 for 40, and I'm jealous of that. Your Spurs got him.
I thought that was a great pick by my Spurs.
I love it. I wish the Nuggets.
I
wish the Nuggets would have found the way. I would have liked him over the Valanciunas, but whatever. No, it wasn't him, Gary. This was more money. It was like 4 for $100 million.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I looked up, Gary. I looked the guy up. He's been in the league for years, and he's like 10 and 8 per game. Like a guy that averages 10 and 8 is making $20+ million a year now. Is that where we've reached? Is that what we've reached?
Wasn't Mark Williams? Was it?
No.
Okay. So okay, chat, help us out. Who is this guy? They're gonna help us out.
Patel or something. Oh wait, I think this is it. Jacob Pertol, I think.
I've heard of him.
Let me look this guy up. Jacob. Paletto. That's what it is. Jacob Paletto. He plays for the Raptors. Let's get him up here. He plays for the Raptors. Literally 9 years in the NBA. This guy's been in the league for 9 years. His career averages 8.9 points per game, 7 rebounds per game. 9 and 7 for his career. He has made this is the extent of his accolades. In 2017, 2018, he finished 12th in 6 Man of the Year voting. That's it. That is the extent of every award he has won in 9 years in the NBA. 595 games played, 9 points per game, and 7 rebounds. And okay, I guess whatever. He 14 and 10 last year. So okay, 14 and 10 is nice. All right, I'll give it
$25 million a year. Nice.
Right, Gary. And here's the other piece of it. These are the games he's played in his career for the 9 years that he's been in the league. 54 his first year, 82 fine the second year, 77 good, 66, 69, 68, 72. Now into 46. So he was split up. Okay, so he played 50 games and 57 games the last 2 years. So he's missed 30 games each the last 2 seasons as well. So a guy who's missed 30 games a year for the last 2 years, who, okay, this is his big contract year. Gary, this is his best year of his career. It's his career high in points and in rebounds. So 14 and 9 is now it's worth $20 million a year. Is that where we're
25, at? 25. You said 4 year for 100.
Let me pull up the exact. He was
on the Spurs. He was involved with that Kawhi Leonard trade in Toronto. Yeah.
Let me see here.
Years ago.
For the exact 4 years, $104 million.
26 a year. That's insanity.
$26 million a year for 14 and 9. Like, that's where we're at in the NBA right now. So like I said, guys, if you're starting a family, if you're young, whatever, start working on your game now. If you're going to have a kid, if you have a boy or whatever, get the ball in their hand early. Okay, this is the kind of monies we're talking about. And that's not even getting into off the court earnings in terms of
endorsements.
Right. Sponsorships, other kinds of things you can invest then into with the money that you get. Then, I mean, of course, you're going to have a podcast. All these guys have podcasts. They're on YouTube. They're making probably $1 million plus from those endeavors as well. There is so much money flowing around the NBA right now. It's absolutely berserk. I can't wrap my head around it. It's crazy. Gary, the contracts, it's just drunk. Like I don't even know what to say. And now, look, I want to get into. We got some super chats here, so we'll get into those in a minute.
Right.
What are your thoughts on Giddey? Because he has not been extended yet.
I thought he was going to get a big payday. Looking at everybody else's payday, I'm expecting him to get a nice payday. He's probably 30 to 40 million at this going rate.
Exactly right. He has not been extended, though, to this point, because reportedly, according to sources within the organization, Chicago doesn't want to offer him in the 30s, in the 30 million range annually. Okay, I understand, but we just said Jacob Poeltl is making $26 million a year. So, like, in today's NBA, Giddey is a $40 million player. So apparently they're going to play hardball with Josh Giddey. He's going to not be extended. And then he's probably going to sign somewhere other than Chicago next season, I would think. In the last, I want to pull up this. So this season he averaged, so this season, 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists officially per game for him this year. But in the last, 25 games of the season, not 25, maybe 19. Actually, I wrote this as a note. So just please bear with me because I looked it up yesterday and I wrote it down as a note. Of course, I now won't be able to. Okay, Josh Giddey, post All-Star break. So this is whatever. I think 20 games played. So in the last 20 games of the season last year, how's this strike you? How do these numbers grab you from Josh Giddey? 21 points per game, 11 rebounds, 9 assists, 21, 10, and 9. Nearly a 20-point triple-double on average in the last 20 games. And that's on high efficiency. 50% from the field, 46% from the three-point line, 81% from the free throw line. That's 50, 46, and 81 splits. That is a $40 million per year player, ladies and gentlemen. And the the putrid bum Bulls don't want to pay him in the 30s. Well, just trade him then. Just get rid of him. Because you ain't going to sign him for $25 million a year. Like, that's a budding superstar, I think, if I'm looking at it. Looking at those last 20 games. All right, Gary. Well, sorry, I've sputtered and rambled on enough here, I think. We're about 40 minutes in to the show. Guys, again, thank you for being here with me in the lounge. The Skap live area here. It's warm. The waters are warm. We're in a special day and time. We're about 3:30 p.m. Eastern in the US of A. And we do have, over 200 people in here. So many thanks to you guys for coming and finding me. We have some super chats queued up here. Oh, I want to talk about Kobe Bryant too, but I'm going to put a pin in that. I've done 3 straight Kobe Bryant videos. I want to address that as well. But I've got some super chats here. So Gary, let's light some of these super chats up, clear these up, some administrative things. And then I just do want to talk about Kobe real quick.
Skap and Gary, if Kobe had three-peated or even won 3 rings with one Shaq, with these BS sidekick narratives, Kobe being carried still exists today?
Well, Xavier, welcome into you, and thank you. It's just so serendipitous, fortuitous, if you will, that I mentioned Kobe, and then Xavier greases the tracks right up for me and mentions Kobe in this super chat. Look, I mean, there has been 3 three-peats in modern NBA history. So obviously the Celtics won, whatever, 11 in whatever, 12 or 13 years, including 8 straight, bridging from the 50s to 60s. So yes, there was that. Outside of the 1960s, and the ABA-NBA merge point was 1976, creating the modern era of NBA basketball. But let's just say from 1970 to now. So, Gary, what is that? What is 1970 to 2025? What is that? Can you help me out with that math? What is
55 years?
55 years. So in 55 years, there has been 3 three-peats. That's it. 2 by Michael Jordan, 1 by Kobe and Shaq. People that just give all of the credit to Shaq. It's outrageous.
Why did he do that when he was with Orlando?
Look, Shaq played in what I think he played 20 seasons. That would be 12 years without Kobe Bryant, 8 with Kobe Bryant. In the 12 years without Kobe Bryant, he played with Penny Hardaway, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, Steve Nash, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen. Those are a lot of good damn names that Shaquille O'Neal played with in 12 Kobe Bryant-less years. And in those 12 years, Shaquille O'Neal won exactly 1 title and went to 2 finals appearances overall without Kobe Bryant. With Kobe in the 8 years, he went to 4 finals and won 3. Now, who are the best players Kobe Bryant played with outside of Shaq? So Kobe played with Shaq for 8 years and then played without Shaq for 12 years. Who are the best players Kobe Bryant played with in the 12 Shaqless years? Pau Gasol. Oh, wait, who else?
Lamar Odom, Ron Artest, Derek Fisher.
Trevor Ariza. Like, these are the best people that Kobe Bryant played with outside Shaq. He went to 3 finals and won 2, though, without Shaq. So I never could comprehend how are we sure Kobe wasn't the one that was mainly attributable for those 3 championships? At the very least, it's a 50-50 split. Kobe was scoring like a point or 2 less per game than Shaq in those playoff runs, while leading the team in assists, leading the team in steals, leading the team in fourth quarter scoring, leading the team in clutch points scored in the playoffs. Like, he was leading in all those things. Like, are we sure? It's at least 50-50, but I would say maybe now, in hindsight, revisionary speak, I need to say maybe Kobe was the main guy, not Shaq. That was mainly attributable to those championships, because look at what Kobe did without Shaq, and vice versa, what Shaq did without Kobe. So
Shaq had the one in 2000. It was Shaq by an edge. But after that, come 2001, Kobe took over.
Yeah, I would say that. I would say, and specifically in the Western Conference playoff runs.
Yeah.
So I don't understand.
Remember,
Xavier, I don't get it. I don't get where these, like, do people say, oh, well, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was just a sidekick. He can't possibly be top 5 all time because he was just a sidekick. Do people say, oh, well, Magic Johnson was just a sidekick? He can't possibly be. Magic Johnson, I don't think he led the team in scoring in any of the playoff runs that he won a finals in. I don't think so. I don't think he ever led their team in scoring. So, like, what is this obsession with looking at, oh, well, Shaq scored 2 more points than Kobe Bryant on those plays. So it was just Shaq was the 1A guy and Kobe was this piece of shit sidekick. Like, I don't understand. Like, those things don't apply to any other all-time great player ever. Like, when you look at, like, the Kevin Durant, Steph Curry pairing, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Magic Johnson pairing. Like, it's just not, they're not applied. They're not treated the same way as Kobe Bryant is for those rings. Kobe's treated like a second tier citizen on those teams, like he was Scottie Pippen or something like that. The conversations were never Kobe's the next Scottie Pippen. From an early stage in Kobe's life in the NBA, the commentary was that dude's the next Jordan. It wasn't he's the next Pippen. So the fact now, 20 freaking years later, we're saying, oh, well, Kobe was Pippen on those teams. It's just garbage. It's people that didn't watch, that don't really comprehend what was happening at the time, or they have some unknown like thing that we don't, I don't want to say they're being paid from somebody else, but they have an agenda that we don't know. And that's why they're making these claims now in hindsight. It's not, though, just about this Shaquille O'Neal thing and the sidekick thing. I did a video, Gary, the other day. I don't know if you saw it or not. But yesterday I did a video on Jeff Teague.
Yeah, like, I saw it.
Jeff Teague went on his podcast like 2 days ago and suggested that Kobe was an overrated defender and didn't deserve.
They were just giving out all defensive teams or whatever.
Yeah.
Didn't he say they're just giving them out?
Yeah. And then Teague's like, oh, I played Kobe. Like, I played him. I know he wasn't defending like that. Teague wasn't even in the league when Kobe was like in his prime defensive. Like when he was accruing those first team selections, Teague wasn't even in the NBA. And we got this scrub crawling on his garbage podcast saying, oh, bro, I know Kobe wasn't defending like that. I know. Liars. Like, these people are just absolutely slandering and lying.
It would never, ever in a million years have the audacity to speak these words if Kobe was not deceased. That is what is so disgusting about this and what they're all doing.
Exactly. Xavier, though, to answer your question on this specific thing, had Kobe three-peated with Gasol? No, I don't think it would have made any difference. I think people would still be saying the same exact shit they're saying right now as they are had he gotten the three-peat with Gasol without Shaq. And probably, quite frankly, you're hearing all this stuff about how Pau Gasol was so great and Pau Gasol should have been the finals MVPs in at least one of those. You probably would have just been seeing Pau Gasol hoisted up even more now to try to discredit Kobe as much as possible. That's likely what would have been happening.
And if that's the case, why didn't Shaq win it in '95 with Penny? If that's that proves it right there to me.
And I mean, look, they won when they won the championship in
2000.
No, the Miami one. Was that 2005? I think. Maybe 06.
When who? Oh, you're talking about when Shaq won it? He won it in 06 with Dwayne Wade.
Yeah, 06. So Gary, in that finals series,
Dwayne Wade looked like Michael Jordan.
Right. Dwayne Wade had arguably the best finals performance I personally have ever seen with my own eyes. Yep. He had 35 points per game, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2.7 steals, 1 block a game. And he did that on, I want to find his splits. He was shooting, 47% from the field. Do you know, Gary, that Shaquille O'Neal was the 3rd leading scorer in that series, in that final series? Antoine Walker was the 2nd leading scorer in that final series against the Dallas Mavericks, 13.8 points per game. Shaquille O'Neal, 13.7. Let me see the entire – I just went to the final series only. Let me see. I want to get to the entire playoffs run and see exactly what Shaq did. I don't want to slander Shaq unnecessarily. Shaq was 18 and 10 in the playoffs for the whole playoff run. But still, Wade 28, 6 and 6 for Wade for the whole playoff run. So I mean, like Shaq's out here literally winning championships when he has like top 5 all-time shooting guard performances from guys. Like he can't win otherwise. So Shaq traded in a top 10 all-time player, the 2nd best 2 guard ever, in Kobe Bryant for Dwayne Wade, who is like the 5th best 2-guard ever. What did Kobe turn in for Shaq? Like, Kobe turned Shaq in and for Pau Gasol. Like, what is he, like the 40th best big, the 50th best? Like, it's insane. And Kobe went through harder competition and won more with that than Shaq could turn in with what it's just not adding up. There's a lot of things that don't make sense with the Kobe commentary narratives today. And that's why I'm just making these videos every day. I can't help myself. Like, I don't want to wake up every day and make a new Kobe Bryant defense video, but every day I wake up and see idiots, losers, scrubs, and liars slandering the hell out of Kobe's name. And I'm just minding my own business, flipping through X or various other social media platforms, and I see this garbage. I can't help myself but respond to it. Next in is the Incorruptible. Welcome back in, formerly the Enforcer, of course, but we're going by only the Incorruptible now. Welcome into you, Incorruptible. Thank you so much for finding me, as you always do. Gary, what does the Incorruptible have? I think there's a couple more coming from him down the pike here, but let's start with this first one here.
The real question, who will sign with Klutch next?
That's a good question. What are we talking about? Like, actual legitimacy in terms of like agent to player representation? Like, what player might sign to be represented by Rich Paul and his stable of sports agents? Or, Incorruptible, are you wondering what potential media personality, talking head, NBA writer, like what one of them might be signing with Klutch next to protect and defend the legacy of LeBron James? Of course, when I say protect and defend, I mean make shit up, spin half-truths or outright lies to try to inflate this guy's legacy far more than it deserves to be at. That's a great question. That is a very, very, very strong question. Seemingly, they've been poaching Kobe people, though. So that's what troubles me. Like, they went and got Paul George. They went and got Tracy McGrady. Like, I don't know. Is Rick Bucher next? Like, we don't have many people left. Is Skap Attack next? I'm kidding. I kid. I would never sign with Klutch Sports under any parameters. I would never disparage the late great Kobe Bryant. But yeah, we don't have many allies left out there. Really, I mean, like Charles Barkley, Rick Bucher, me, if you want to throw me in the mix. There's not many people out there on the mainstream or on, secondary outlets like me that are in this day and age, in the Lord's year of 2025, out here battling and going to bat for Kobe Bryant. So I don't know, Incorruptible. We have to stop the bleeding. We have to stop this this exodus of talking heads and personalities of signing with Klutch and whatever, abandoning, literally, I would say it's just Kobe, but it's everybody. Like, if you're spreading the Klutch messaging and, propagating the LeBron James lie, you essentially, that entails you slandering, dismissing, and belittling every other all-time great player that has ever existed. So it's not just Kobe Bryant. It just seems like Kobe Bryant's the one catching the most strays. This last month has just been absolutely nuts to me. We got Xavier back in. Xavier, welcome back into you. Gary, what does Xavier have for us this time?
Do you think a team retires CP3's jersey? Maybe LA.
That's a good question. I don't know. Let's see how long he spent with LA. I think it was like 7-ish years. 6 years with the Clippers, 6 years with New Orleans, and then really just bounced around. 3 years Phoenix, 2 years Houston, 1 year San Antonio, 1 year Oklahoma City, 1 year Golden State. That's right. I forgot he was even with Golden State. That was weird. That was a weird season. So I don't know. I honestly don't think. I don't. Maybe New Orleans, since like New Orleans was his first. That was his first team. He had a couple really good years there. Almost won MVP that one season. Finished runner-up MVP. I think maybe if a team were to retire the jersey, it might be New Orleans. But I don't know. I'd be hard pressed for any NBA team to retire his jersey. And Chris Paul is an all-time great player. I mean, I'm looking at his career numbers now: 17 points per game, 9 assists, and a plethora of all NBA designations and distinctions. He finished top 7-ish in MVP like 9 times. Too many All-Stars to count, like 14-ish, 13, 14 All-Star appearances, and then a plethora of first-team All-NBA distinctions. 4 first teams, 5 second teams, a couple third teams. So Chris Paul is one of the all-time great players, handful of greatest point guards ever. His advanced numbers are ridiculous. He's like top 10 in most of the advanced metrics. But yeah, Chris Paul could just never really get it done. Of course, he played in one and only one NBA Finals back in 2020-21. Looked like he was going to get it done, get that shipped over the finish line, and it just fell apart in the last 4 games. Remember, Phoenix, Devin Booker balling out of his mind in those playoffs, in that playoff run. They were up 2-0 in the NBA Finals against Milwaukee, and Giannis Antetokounmpo went ballistic and won 4 consecutive games. And that was the closest the alleged point god has ever come to an NBA championship. And we'll see. Next year is his year, like I mentioned, his aged 40 season. It will be the final in the NBA for him. And we'll see. He wants to get close to home. So I'm guessing that means a return to the Clippers. I mean, that's an old ass team. If they do get Bradley Beal, so let's just say they get Bradley Beal off some kind of a stretch provision of some sort after he clears that with Phoenix, which nothing seems imminent or forthcoming on that front. But let's say that it happens. So then he goes and signs with the Clippers along with Chris Paul. I mean, is Bradley Beal, is he going to be in I guess he's in their starting lineup at that point. So you've got Bradley Beal, Chris Paul, Kawhi Leonard, and James Harden as like 4 of your principal core players. Like, that's an old ass team. And not just that, injury prone. Like, those guys don't play, in the upper 60s or 70s worth of games anymore, really. So I don't know. That's quite a gamble. I mean, if they're all healthy come playoff time, yeah, like that's a contender. But what if they're not? Like, what if all of them, or at least two of them, pick any 2 that are hurt come playoff time? You know what's going to happen, Gary? They're going to beat somebody really good, like in the postseason. In the first round, they're going to play like the Rockets or the Nuggets and beat them with all of their players. Then their whole team's just going to disintegrate. And so in like the next round, they're just going to flame out because every player gets hurt. But they're going to get in and screw up the postseason by beating like one really good team in the playoffs when they actually have their whole team healthy. But there's no way that roster will sustain an entire postseason run. There's just no way. But I don't think anybody's going to retire that jersey, Xavier, to your point. We've got Will N in next. Will N is a regular. Thank you for finding us, locating us here at this special day and time. I, of course, am not on vacation anymore as I'm in the confines of my little office lair here. But this is a unique time, just kind of spur of the moment, decided to pop on. We're an hour in now here to the lounge. Still got about 200 of you in here, so thank you for being here. Working through some super chats now. Gary, go ahead and read Will N's latest one for us.
Been wanting to ask you this as you are a Kobe fan. Do you think that Dale Harris was a decent coach, even though he didn't start Kobe from the get-go?
No, I think Dale Harris was a bum, Will N. Now look, it's difficult for me to say because they had Eddie Jones and Nick Van Exel on that team that drafted Kobe. I think it's more of the front office was to blame than the coach. So I don't want to say that Del Harris was the problem. I think ownership was the problem, and maybe I can't even say the general manager. Look, that Laker team was constructed by the late great Jerry West, and Jerry West worked Kobe Bryant out. There's this famous story about the workout that Kobe did in advance of the draft, and Jerry West was so obsessed with Kobe Bryant. He was losing sleep over it. He went up to ownership and said, "We need to find a way to get Kobe Bryant." They weren't drafting high enough that they were going to be able to select him. I think it was Charlotte that picked him at 13, and Jerry West knew he had to have Kobe, and he couldn't even wait for draft day to pass. So it was on draft night that they traded the rights for Vlade Divac to Charlotte for the rights of Kobe Bryant, the 13th overall pick in the 1996 draft, because West was so obsessed with Kobe and so obsessed with what he saw in that workout. He said it was the greatest workout he had ever seen. And he said that Kobe Bryant is the best player in the draft. Okay, so if Jerry West thinks all that shit, and that's the stuff that he's been telling ownership and management, and you secure his rights, why then would you not try to open a freaking spot for him in the starting lineup up? Why wouldn't you trade Nick Van Exel or Eddie Jones and open up some kind of a slot for Kobe Bryant? Because it was ridiculous what they did to Kobe Bryant. I did a piece on this long ago, and it was actually part of a larger piece where I talk about some of the all-time great scorers that we've seen in the NBA history in their first years. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Luka Doncic. Those guys had the freedom, the flexibility to shoot 17, 18, 20 shots a game right out of the chute in their first NBA seasons. Kobe Bryant wasn't afforded that ability. He shot 5.9 times a game his first year, 11.6 times per game his second year, and 15.6 times per game his second year. So when you look at those 3 seasons, though, his rookie, second, and third year, the years where he got to shoot like 19, 20 times, or the games where he got to shoot 19, 20 times, he was scoring like 25 points per game. So he was as prolific of a scorer as anyone we've seen in his first year and second year in the NBA. He was as good of a scorer as LeBron, Kevin Durant, Luka, Jordan. Those guys just got to shoot more. There was like 30 games that I looked at where Kobe got to shoot at least 18 times in his first 2 years, and he averaged like 24, 25 points per game in those specific moments. So why not clear a spot for him early on in his career and give him the opportunity? It pisses me off because it is fundamentally depreciated Kobe's statistical outputs, his per game averages. And people look at it now in hindsight, oh, only 25 points per game. Like Kobe only scored 25. Well, yes, because his first 2 years, he was barely allowed to shoot. When he got into his third season, he averaged 20 points per game. That was the year. With the first year he became a starter at the age of 20, he averaged 20 points per game. His second season, when he got to shoot finally over 15 times a game, he averaged 17.9 shots a game. His fourth year, okay, he averaged 23 points per game. He was all NBA defense, and an MVP, top 11 MVP candidate that year, and an all-star. So, like, why not give him the ability to start playing, like, really impactful minutes, be a starter, and take meaningful shot attempts from the beginning if Jerry West identified what he identified, believed in what he believed in Kobe Bryant, and they got him? Why not get rid of Eddie Jones and Nick Van Exel, or just one of them at least, and let Kobe get in there? So, no, I blame Will N, maybe not Del Harris. I blame the Lakers, but that's nothing new. The Lakers organization actually sabotaged Kobe Bryant's career from the beginning to the end. They really did. They sabotaged him at the beginning in not letting him play. They then traded Shaquille O'Neal for a bag of peanuts. It was Caron Butler, Lamar Odom, and Brian Grant. That was the package they returned for Shaquille O'Neal. So they sabotaged him again then, and then they let him sit with that festering poop nugget of a lineup for 2 full years in his prime, with his best player, Lamar Odom, and a stable of starting players around him and Odom that really didn't even belong in the NBA. They let him sit with that lineup for 2 years in his absolute dead prime. Then they get Mike D'Antoni in his coach instead of Phil Jackson, and Kobe plays himself into the ground and blows his Achilles out, and is a shell of himself for the last like 3 or 4 seasons. And look at the lineups he was surrounded with, by the way, in his last 3 or 4 seasons. So the Lakers, Kobe Bryant achieved everything he achieved in spite of the Lakers. People talk about it like Kobe sailed under some lucky star to be acquired by the Lakers on draft night 96. Quite the contrary. If Kobe stayed in Charlotte, he would have had a better career than he had in LA. He would achieve the things he did in spite of them, in spite of their sabotaging attempts. So I fully blame the organization, Willen, and I hate the Lakers organization basically for everything that they did to Kobe along the way. And then for bringing in LeBron James basically right on the heels of Kobe getting out of the league and just sullying that uniform that Kobe made, repopularized after the 80s. And then the house that Kobe built, Staples Center, at least formerly known as Staples Center, now Crypto.com Arena, whatever the hell that is, bringing LeBron in, seeing him play in Kobe's house. It's just disgusting to me. It's been disturbing since they signed him, and it just gets more and more distasteful with each passing year. So F the Lakers, Willen. Sorry, Gary, I said a lot there. Was there something that you wanted to add to that? Sorry.
Not really. Yeah, I don't disagree with anything really. Yeah.
All right, well, let's bring Jolly Joshams into the conversation. We've got a couple, it looks like, back-to-back from Jolly Joshams. So let's go ahead and light this first one up. Jolly, thank you for finding the show here at this weird time. I do appreciate you. Gary, go ahead and read this first one from Jolly.
Okay, we got back-to-back from Jolly Joshams. First one says, "Hey, Skap, been a while since I caught a stream. Just here to show support."
Jolly, thank you very much. I appreciate the support and the love from you and from everybody else coming out here. Just the engagement, the interaction. I obviously appreciate it. And yeah, it's been a while since I did a stream. I think, what is it, Gary? Thursday, and I think I did one last Wednesday or Tuesday. So it's been like a week.
Yeah, one last week, and that was the first one since the night of the first round of the draft on the 25th. So since the 25th, since the draft, this is the second one.
Yep. So yeah, just 2 really in almost like 3 weeks. So trying to get back in, get some more reps in with you guys, get some more opportunities or reasons to come in here and do the lives. I love doing them. So I'll look for any reason I can to get in here and talk various things with you guys. Jolly now follows up with a second one. Go ahead, Gary, for this one.
Superstar money for players who aren't superstars is absurd. Shout out to the Players Association for robbing the owners blind with their bargaining.
Yeah, it's where we're in a weird place right now. I don't understand. I do understand the trickle down economics of it all, the supply and demand. The NBA Players Association, a couple CBAs ago, I believe there was a work stoppage for it. They went in hard and they demanded basically a 50-50 split with ownership. So they get 50% of revenues and the owners get the other 50%, which makes sense to me. Like, the players, I think, should be entitled to half of all of the revenue that they produce. And let me be very, very clear. Revenue includes ticket sales, gate stuff, like regular different I think jersey sales are wrapped into that. Concession food sales are even inclusive in that at the arenas on game days. And then most importantly, TV deals. So I understand that players are entitled to and that they get 50% of it. What I'm grappling to understand is how the hell are the TV deals this astronomical? That's the thing I can't understand. Like, we're in a time right now in existence within the NBA where professional basketball, at least in the NBA in the United States of America, is pretty much at all-time lows in terms of popularity. I mean, you have to go back to the 1970s, I think, to find a time when general interest in the league was this low. And, I'd say the average fan had such disinterest in this product. So why is it that the NBA just signed a $70 billion extension with various, and then NBC got it, and it's not even an extension for NBC. So, and actually, I think Amazon Prime is new too. So it's not it wasn't an extension of a deal. The TV deal extends ESPN. So ESPN, Disney, ABC, they're involved in it. But then it's adding in Amazon Prime, who's taking over a big chunk of live NBA action this year, and NBC, who's getting it back for the first time in like 20 years now. Those three principal players, so that would be Disney via ESPN and ABC, Amazon, and NBC, Disney, and Amazon are the three. $70 billion for like 11 years. So that's like whatever, $7 billion a year paid out to the NBA, plus the other much more trivial and insignificant amounts of money, like the concessions, jersey sales, ticket sales. So you wrap all that in. I mean, we're saying like $4.5 billion probably would then be going to the players. So that money needs to go back to them somehow, some way. The way it's happening is the salary cap keeps rising. So then these salaries keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger because the NBA keeps making more and more money somehow. So I understand why they're getting more money, because the NBA is generating more revenue. My question is, how and why is the NBA generating this level of revenue when there isn't that commensurate level of interest in the product? Like, it's nuts. People are watching these games, like 1.8 million viewers per regular season NBA games. Like, that's not a big number, even into the playoffs. I haven't looked at the total year-end postseason numbers TV-wise, but the numbers weren't eye-popping in the earlier stages of the series. I don't know what the finals drew ultimately. I would guess not a lot, though, with the two markets that we're in. So it's just baffling to me why and how. These contracts keep going up, but it's as an offshoot as why and how are people giving the NBA this much money to get the rights to televise their games? I don't understand it, but that is why these contracts are so astronomical. Now, how you divvy them up and partition that monies to the players that you have contractually obligated on your teams, that's up to you. That's up to general manager or whatever, the front office. But we see the willingness of people to give these players money. So if you're not, being smart with how you're divvying it up, and you're like, for lack of a better example, the Nuggets, you're giving four guys $30+ million, and then you only have, mid-level exceptions or, vet minimums by and large. Like, it's going to be hard to compete in the market, the free agent market, to get some of these other guys. So it's just, we live in a weird time, Jolly Josh. It's just bizarre why and how the NBA has reached this leverage point with advertisers. I don't get it. Maybe there's something I don't know, or I'm not seeing, or I don't understand. I guess I should probably do more of an investigative look or dig into this, a deep dive, if you will, and see if I could figure out just why and how. It ain't just inflation. These are astronomical kinds of dollars and figures being thrown at the NBA for television rights. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I need to seek the help of like an economist of some sort and see if maybe they could help me do some kind of a larger investigative piece. But I agree, Jolly Joshins. The contracts are crazy, and it's crazy to see guys like role players, like 10-point per game players, making like $15-20 million a year. It's crazy. I love Naz Reid. I think he's arguably the best bench player in the NBA. But Naz Reid is a specified designated bench player. He won 6th Man of the Year 2 years ago. He ain't ever going to be a starter for Minnesota. At least I don't think so. He just signed 5 for $125 million. 5 years, $125 million.
Where does it end? Where's the finish line here? That's why I said something that I said absurd a couple live streams ago. I think Victor Wembanyama may actually get a $1 billion contract, like a 15-year $1 billion contract or something crazy like that. We're on the horizon within the next 3 to 5 years of somebody getting a $1 billion contract. That's where we're headed unless something drastically stops.
Yeah, it is just crazy. And when I look at it NBA specific, like I see NHL contracts and stuff. I see players signing now because their season runs virtually concurrent to the NBA. So they're doing their off-season stuff and their free agent signings and all that. Like these guys, Gary, they're signing for like $5 million a year, $7 million a year. Big deals. So, and then, I see NFL contracts. I mean, yeah, some contracts are big. Some guys are making 40-ish, $50 million a year, maybe 60 million if they're quarterbacks. But by and large, like elite running back, like I forget what they signed. I think I'm trying to remember what they signed Saquon to. I think it was like 20 million a year, 2 years, 41 million extension. So Saquon Barkley, his reward for getting the Philadelphia Eagles over the Super Bowl hump and playing lights out all season long, he was their MVP for sure. And that resulted in an NFL championship in a Super Bowl. And his big reward was a 2-year, $41 million extension. Like, okay.
Less than Naz Reid.
Like $20 million a year for the bet. Arguably, look, last year, you could say maybe Derrick Henry's in the mix in the conversation there, but
right.
But Saquon Barkley, for all intents and purposes, was the best running back in the National Football League last year. He's making 20 mil now annually. And Naz Reid, who's the 70th best player in the NBA or something, is making $25 million a year. It's nuts how much. Like how? I don't understand. The NFL is so much more popular than the NBA. It generates so much more money than the NBA. How is there this much money available in TV deals going to the NBA? I don't know. Again, I need like an economist to help me dig into this.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, the Incorruptible is back in again. Let me read this one, Gary, since it's to you. Shout out to Gaslit, not Gaslighter Gary, who always yells with his indoor voice in his videos. There you go.
Yes, sir. He's watched some of my videos on my channel, and he's just talked about the way I talk. And I talk like that because I'm just trying to project. But I've been working on it because I know I need to balance it out a little more. Sometimes I need to project more. Sometimes be a little more laid back. Because I've had a few people say, "Hey, don't yell so much." But then other people like it. You can't please everyone, but at the same time, I want to try to maintain balance as well as I can. So it's a work in progress because I feel like if I'm not projecting, I'm not being heard.
Well, Gary, I'm a loud talker as well. So,
yeah.
It's you don't have to apologize. I yell and loud talk as well. So
yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put a link to my new video in case anyone wants to check it out after the live stream. My last video got 73,000 views. And the one I put up today has not even broken 300 views. So that's the life of a YouTuber. Some days you do well, some days you don't.
73,000 though, very, very strong, Gary. Congratulations on that one. And what was I going to say? Oh, yes. Yes, I'm a loud talker. And I don't know if there's any Seinfeld fans out there watching or people that know Seinfeld, but there was a close talker
Right.
episode. So I'm a loud talker. You're a loud talker. Also, I just want to note here that the Gaslighter Gary's videos I do not necessarily condone or endorse the validity of the messaging in them. I just have to say that because I think his one today is on Jason Whitlock, who I have a relationship with. So I don't want to give anything away, but Gary might be honing in on my main man, Jason Whitlock. So
not your main man when he's talking about your main man, Kobe Bryant, the way he is jumping on that bandwagon, having a guy on who doesn't even hardly like, who's this guy? Oh, Shaq was so kind.
I have no idea who that guy is.
And Kobe was mean to me. So
who
now
is that guy? Paul, what was that guy's name?
Who the hell is Paul Shirley? You're going to sit there and trash Kobe Bryant because he didn't want to have a conversation with you the first time you showed up in the gym or whatever. You got to work into that. You got to, anyways, not to go off on a tangent, but I thought that was distasteful. And I didn't like the way Whitlock just jumped on jumping on the crapping on Kobe Bryant bandwagon. And then on top of that, right after that, he made the most ridiculous take I've ever heard about Nike wants LeBron James to go to Indiana. As if he came out with some brilliant insight that was like one of the worst takes of the year I've heard. It would be the worst if I hadn't listened to Nick Wright and Colin Cowherd. But, I mean, it's so it's not a knock against Tim personally, but it's a knock against his terrible takes. Because he's not been on a good streak the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I've been meaning. I've been a little busy with other Kobe slander pieces, but I was considering doing something a little more involved on this Paul Shirley clown that he is. I think I was overly classy on Whitlock's show. If I was not on Whitlock's platform, I probably would have gotten a little more assertive with Paul because Paul was trying, he multiple times dismissed, me as basically being like a child. He said that he wanted to have an adult conversation. Then he said he had to pull rank because he played in the NBA. This guy's a scrub. He's an absolute unmitigated scrub. He played 18 games total in the NBA, scored 1.8 points per game. He would have never played a single second in the league if he wasn't 7 feet tall. He's an absolute scrub. He's a fake intellectual. He's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He had no idea how to respond to me or answer any of my actual well-informed and intelligent takes. He instead just had to move the goalpost, try to change the topic, and then dismiss me as not being an adult or whatever. So I thought I really contained and controlled myself and acted with utmost class and dignity because I was on Whitlock's platform. Had we been on some other platform, either his, mine, or some independent,
you would have laid into him.
I probably would have went a little harder at him. The guy's a scrub. He's a loser. He is, like I said, a complete fake intellectual. He's not smart. He's not intelligent. He just shows up not prepared to face me in my actual well-researched and intelligent takes. So instead, he just has to name call and try to belittle me in some way or change the conversation. So I think I still destroyed him because he's a loser and a scrub. And that's what I did. He went in there.
He said his whole thing was Kobe didn't make players better. Kobe didn't make players better.
Right. But right. Gary, that's what I do to losers and scrubs is destroy them. So I still destroyed him, even though I remained poised and classy. But I because I'm also petty, I've been kind of mulling over my level of classiness. I kind of want to go back and dig in and get at him more. So I'm thinking maybe I might do a specific featured video on him.
Yeah, you should just recap the video and just do a live reaction, or I mean on video, just react to the points, and then he can really dig in on them.
Right. Okay, Gary, we do have a second straight incorruptible, but I want to jump down here because look, I'm sorry, I play favorites. My dad is gonna have to jump.
Mr. Bob,
So,
Mr. Original Skap.
Bob Skapanak, aka the original Skap. Gary, go ahead and read my dad's super chat. He's jumping over you guys. I'm sorry. My dad's gonna get carte blanche here. Let's see what Bob has to say.
Well, I can already tell you that Mr. Bob, the answer is an emphatic no. N-O exclamation points to your question, by the way, because he says, original Skap, hard at work in my office. Is this your summer look or an attempt to lose 10 years off your age? This is his question, which I give the emphatic no. Maybe I should lose the stash.
So Bob is talking about my clean shaved look here. My wife hates it. Anytime I shave, she probably wants to divorce me. So I'll be bringing the stubble back out. I just felt my skin needed to be refreshed a little bit. I needed to let the natural oils or whatever, get back. I needed some exfoliation. But yes, I do obviously, look, I always look younger than what my actual age is, but I look much younger now with my, I think I shaved 2 days ago, a day or two ago. So, yeah, I don't know. My dad, he's had the stash for, I want to say 50 years, which you can see it. If you can see his little avatar there, that is a picture of him at my wedding, actually, with the stash. He's got actually the curly thingy going on, Gary. He's got I don't know if he puts little mustache wax in there or what. I don't know what his stash regimen is, but I don't know if he just curls it, if he just wakes up in the morning and curls it and it naturally curls. I don't know, but he's got the little curliness going on in that stash. So that's what it's looking like these days. I think, look, Dad, I don't know. I think you should keep the stash going strong. And maybe this is what I've been telling him, though, grow the hair out. I think like a man bun or like a ponytail would complement the curly stash. So that's probably what he should do. He could start working on that, since he jokes he's hard at work at his summer and his office. Yeah, I'm sure he's really hard at work right now. He doesn't have much to do there other than grow his hair out. So hopefully he can add to the stash with a nice man bun or tail coming up. I'll keep you guys all posted, obviously, on that one. And thanks, by the way, Dad, for the super chat. Thank you for supporting me in the stream here in the lounge. I do appreciate it, as always. Now let's jump back up to the Incorruptibles second one. Gary, go ahead with this one.
I think 3 things are at play with Kobe. 1, people overrate Shaq. 2, Kobe was perceived as an a-hole. 3, he isn't here to keep the losers scared.
Yeah, I think there's other things going on as well. I really do. I hate to pin it on LeBron, but I do believe that there has been this systemic push by the NBA for whatever reason. I don't know why. I think, look, the NBA wants to build heroes and build legends and build icons and have GOATs to market their product and to drum up more interest in games. And I think LeBron, from a very young age, probably when he was still in high school, the NBA got in its mind, this is the dude, this is the next guy, this is the guy we're going to start marketing and pushing and building as the GOAT. And I think they have tried to protect and defend that narrative at any and all costs. And one of the big monkeys in the wrench there for them was the fact that this guy, Kobe Bryant, who was in the NBA already at the time, was a much better player. And the things that Kobe Bryant achieved throughout the course of his career, I think you can make a very strong argument, supersede everything that we've seen from LeBron, that Kobe Bryant is the superior player. And I think that the NBA's media, the mouthpiece that they have been going into overdrive for whatever reason to try to belittle Kobe Bryant and at least diminish what he's done in some way to try to make LeBron look better head-to-head against Kobe, because how can LeBron be the GOAT if he's not even the best player of his own era? That's been a fundamental issue for the LeBron crowd, basically since LeBron entered the NBA, because Kobe Bryant was the best player in the NBA when LeBron got in, and he was the best player in the NBA for like LeBron's first 10 years or whatever, like 7 or 8 years of LeBron's career. So it's been a problem the whole time. And now as LeBron gets longer and longer in his stages of his career, like he hasn't really ever passed Kobe, I don't think. So the slander initiative has to be reactivated here now to try to bring Kobe down some levels to uplift LeBron. I think that's an undeniable element of it. And the second piece is LeBron is a very powerful and rich person. He's worth over $1 billion now. He has his own media company, and he has a sports agency which controls, I believe, the second biggest amount of NBA players of any other agency on earth. So like he's got all of that stuff working for him too. Look, he can exert pressure and he can put out mandates that he is treated a certain way, that he is talked about a certain way. And I do believe that he is in some way, shape, or form to blame for the way Kobe Bryant is being treated, and his legacy is being manipulated now in hindsight. There's just no other way to explain it, because when Kobe was playing, I'm telling you, I was there, I was watching. When Kobe was playing, like early in his career, people were saying like next Jordan. Then in like 2009, 2010, when he was winning his 4th and 5th championship, when he was only like 31 or 32 at the time, the conversation was, then this is Jordan. Like, is he better than Jordan? Can he surpass Jordan? Like, if he wins another one, is he better than Jordan? Like, if he passes Jordan in scoring, what does that mean? And if he gets another, like those conversations were being had. And then like in the immediate aftermath, when he retired, like top 3, easy consensus, top 3 all time. Now, all of a sudden barely top 10, like he's somewhere around 12, 13, inefficient score, overrated defender. Like this shit wasn't being said like through Kobe's whole career. So why we're doing it now, it's just weird. And like, if you want to say, oh, well, LeBron maybe wasn't at Kobe's level to some people when Kobe retired, but now LeBron has surpassed Kobe in their estimation, or in all of the other things LeBron's done since Kobe retired. Okay, well, that's one player. So like if we're saying Kobe was a consensus top 3 player, top 4 at worst when he retired, and LeBron wasn't at that time, but now LeBron's past Kobe too. Okay, that's one guy. So Kobe's still top 5 all time. So why is it, how have all these other players now also passed Kobe? Like they haven't been playing either. They're inactive as well. Something is happening. There's some mandate or edict that has been put out to try to diminish Kobe Bryant for some reason. And I believe in my heart that LeBron James is at the crux of it. So that's just my take on it. Incorruptible. Next, we've got Master PM in. Welcome in, Master PM, another regular here on the stream. Thank you. I do appreciate you. Gary, what's this one say from Master PM?
This one's funny. I hope the Clippers take Beal from my Suns.
Yeah, Bradley Beal, it's just a terrible contract. And Bradley Beal, look, he was a stud for a couple of years. He averaged like 30 points per game one season. In fact, I think he was like second in the NBA in scoring one year, which is pretty impressive, even though he's on a shitty team. But let me just get to Bradley. Yeah, Bradley Beal, 30 back-to-back seasons. Now he only played 57 and 60 games, but in back-to-back seasons, 30.5 points and 31 points per game. That's pretty healthy. It's pretty impressive. I don't care how bad your team is, how many times, look, he led the league those 2 years in shot attempts. So whatever. I don't care how many shots you're chucking a night, how bad your team is. If you're scoring 30 points in the NBA, like that's kind of an impressive feat. I'm not saying he's an elite player, should be making $50 million a year. I'm just saying, like, he's not a total scrub. And then for his career, which spans 13 years now, this is no small sample size, 22 point per game score. Like, he is a very effective scorer. He was all NBA third team one time, though. Only one time. How do you start making $50 million a year and you have one all NBA third team selection? That's it. And 3 all-star appearances. That's it. So I think he's massively overpaid. Massively. Like, one of the worst contracts ever. But he can play. And if you can get him as your 5th or 6th, the problem is the Suns need him to be their like 2nd or 3rd best player. So like that was the issue. If you can get him as your 5th or 6th best player, I think that's something that most teams would probably sign up for. I do want to jump again real fast because my main man, Vacation Wealth Partners, who is one of our most really generous benefactors and sponsors, has dropped us 2 nice super chats here in the last half an hour or so. And I'm a little bit behind. I'm about 25 minutes behind this. So I just wanted to give Vacation Wealth Partners a shout out and just get these up real fast. And I will get right back in line with all of the other supers. But Gary, go ahead and read Vacation Wealth Partners first here.
Welcome back. With mainstream sports media being as fraudulent and pathetic as it is, and with great accurate content like yourself on YouTube, do you believe network sports media even matters 5 years from now as YouTube grows?
Well, thank you for the kind words in addition to your generous donation here at Vacation Wealth Partners. As always, I appreciate you being out here for me. And that's a great question. I honestly, I see a big movement away from mainstream. I myself, I say it all the time. I lived, breathed, died, consumed, drank, ate, whatever. ESPN was like my main thing, my whole life. Basically, from the time I can remember, going back, I'm old, but ESPN's been around since before I was even alive. And from the time I was born, from the time I can remember, probably 9, 10 years old, let's say, I watched ESPN like all day, every day when I wasn't in school. Like ESPN was on. When I was studying or doing homework, ESPN was on. When I went to bed, I fell asleep to ESPN. When I woke up, I put on ESPN. I loved ESPN. I loved all the personalities. I loved the anchors. I loved the shows. And I haven't really watched ESPN in like years now at this point. Probably 5, 6, 7 years. If I'm not watching a game or if I'm not looking on YouTube for clips of shows on ESPN because someone brings to my attention that someone said something stupid that I need to address, I don't really watch ESPN at all, ever. Like, even when I'm watching games, I basically mute like before and the halftime stuff, where I watch something else at halftime. I hate ESPN now. So, and I think viewership in general is trending down. And I think a lot of people have forsaken mainstream in general. Now, these mainstream people, though, have YouTube channels. Like Nick Wright has a YouTube channel. Stephen A. Smith has a YouTube channel. So, like, the people that maybe you're not watching on the specific channel or station or whatever, the time slot that it's airing, people are still looking for those personalities. They're maybe even looking at ESPN's YouTube channel and finding those clips afterwards or watching segments of the show. So I think there still will be some kind of a reliance on these personalities and on these networks in some capacity. But the way that those shows and that those networks were consumed in previous years, and really, I think moving forward forever now, is going to be intrinsically altered. I think it is 100% a changing dynamic. Everything, media, everything's changing and updating, I think, in the information technology age that we find ourselves in. I talk on this platform often about movies. I'm a huge movie buff. I love movies. Couple good movies I'm looking forward to seeing. I'm going to see F1 sometime, hopefully maybe tomorrow I'll see F1, and then maybe the next day I might see Superman. And I might possibly squeeze in Jurassic, whatever it is, the new Jurassic Park film. I don't know if that's worthy of a theatrical show, of me showing up in the theaters to see that one. But F1 and Superman, I definitely want to see and will see in theaters very soon. But even that's changing. Like I used to go to the movie theaters in the summer, like every week. And then even like over Christmas or whatever, that like the fall would have some releases. I went to the movie theaters probably 50 times a year at least for decades when I was growing up. Now I go maybe 5 to 7 times a year, maybe. And I think streaming shows have surpassed movies in many ways. Like I looked at shows as like an inferior form of entertainment when I was growing up. Like I barely watched shows. There was a few shows that I really loved, like Seinfeld I mentioned earlier. But by and large, I barely watched shows. I only watched sports or movies. Now I watch more shows than I do films. So things are just changing, Vacation Wealth Partners. And I think the mainstream sports media is going the way of the dinosaur as well. Vacation Wealth Partners, back to back. Again, thank you very much. Again, Vacation Wealth Partners, for your support and generosity. Gary, what does this one say?
Reality of it is, from a marketing perspective, cash flow perspective, and media narrative, it makes the networks more money to have a current player debate against a retired player. Same with Mahomes.
Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with that, because I do disagree with all of those conversations. Like the Mahomes is the GOAT conversation. It's just a fallacy. I mean, it's not even close. It's not even a close consideration at this point. I still think probably Joe Montana. Look, if Mahomes won the Super Bowl last and three-peated, okay, then maybe then, because he would have 4 and he would have had a three-peat, the only three-peat in NFL history. I think then we might have been able to have the conversation. Mahomes has surpassed Joe Montana. But at this point, I still think Joe Montana is above Patrick Mahomes. And really, realistically, like Peyton Manning has 2 Super Bowls and Patrick Mahomes has 3. And Peyton Manning has 5 league MVPs. Like I think 7 all first team all pros. Like there's a lot of ways you can still say Peyton Manning, I think, is better than Patrick Mahomes. And yet the conversation is now, is Patrick Mahomes better than Tom Brady? No, it's not even close. I'm still saying, let's talk about Patrick Mahomes versus, like I said, Peyton Manning and like Joe Montana. Tom Brady is a very, very far distant conversation away from Patrick Mahomes. So but I get it though, Vacation Wealth Partners. So I understand what you're saying. It behooves the leagues to try to build this kind of a narrative, and because it does build additional interest and talking points and funnels people in to watching these games more, I guess. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. But yes, they've done the same thing in the NBA, and it has come, I think, to the detriment of Kobe Bryant's legacy in recent years. But yes, a very valid point, and I guess I understand it, but don't ask me to like it, okay? All right, let's see, where did I leave off here, Gary? Do you recall? I believe I am at, yep, here I am. Samson the Current, because I did Master PM's take on Bradley Beal. He wants them off of his sons. So now we welcome in Samson the Current. Thank you, Samson, for finding us yet again, another regular here on these streams. Gary, go ahead and read this one for us.
What's your take on Giannis with Miles Turner?
I mean, I like Miles Turner. I like the dynamic he adds to Milwaukee. I think the two of them, from just a defensive standpoint, like two larger, adaptable, varied defenders that you can deploy, on a plethora of different positions. Basically, Giannis will guard point guards too. Miles Turner is kind of a Swiss Army knife, I think, too, in terms of he can guard basically the whole front court. And I like the addition of Miles Turner. I think he fits Milwaukee well. I think Milwaukee got better, even though, I mean, yes, they lose Brook Lopez. I still, though, because of Miles Turner, because of his age relative to Brook Lopez, I definitely think that's an upgrade for Milwaukee. The thing I'm questioning here, though, Samson, is like, what was the cost to do this? You're paying Damian Lillard now. Gary, what was the stretch? Was it for 3 years? Do you know?
Wasn't it $100 million over 5 years, $20 million a year for 5 years, I believe?
I thought it was 3 or 4. Let me just see let me see real quick.
I thought it was $100 million over 5 years. Because I think it was supposed to be $50 million a year for the next 2, but now they're going to stretch it out to paying him $20 million a year for over 5 years, if I remember correctly.
I'm trying to find the exact specifics of it. The Bucks opted to waive and stretch the remaining 103. Why does it just not say? Why does it just not say what I want to see? 4 years. No, that's a Turner deal. Okay, stretching the 113. I don't know why it's not giving the actual length of time that they're stretching this. Okay, well, I'm not going to, maybe you could look that up for me, Gary, and find out exactly. They're going to be paying him $20 million a year indefinitely. Damian Lillard, that's dead money, $20 million. And then 4 years, $107 million then for Miles Turner. So I don't know. I mean, $25 million a year. I guess if Jacob Paletto is worth 4 for 107, I guess Turner is also worth 4 for 107. But you have to look at it, I think, because Damian Lillard was stretched for some, I'm not sure, indeterminate amount of time. Gary's looking for me.
Yeah, I've got it. It says the Bucks will pay Lillard $22.5 million per year for the next 5 years. So I guess
it is 5 years. So you were right. It is 5 years. That the same thing that Bradley Beal is looking for from Phoenix, basically. Anyway, so this deal, this Miles Turner deal was part of facilitating it. So in my estimation, you're paying Miles Turner $26 million a year for the next 4 years. Well, you're also paying Damian Lillard $22 million. So that's really, we're talking 48, 50, basically almost $50 million a year, essentially, to facilitate Miles Turner being on your team for the next 4 years. Miles Turner worth $50 million annually? I don't know about that. So while I do like it in a vacuum, and I think it makes Milwaukee better and more competitive, and the East is wide open, so I think obviously the Bucks are trying to do something here. I don't really like the cost and what they're going to be dishing out to make this happen. But really, ultimately, there's only one person that needs to like it. There's only one person that you need to buy into it: Giannis Antetokounmpo. If Giannis is on board, if Giannis likes it, if this satisfies him in some way in which he's willing to not demand a trade or maybe even sign some kind of an extension, then you've done everything that you have to do with this deal. If it gets a buy-in from Giannis Antetokounmpo. All right, Xavier DeGod is up next. Gary, go ahead and read this one from Xavier.
After Kobe, who is the second best player of the 96 draft?
That's a good question, Xavier. That draft included Allen Iverson as the number 1 overall pick. It had Steve Nash in it as well, and I believe Ray Allen. Those were the 4 main guys. Obviously, we know Kobe is number 1. It's tough. AI's got the 1 league MVP. Nash has the 2. I think I'm probably going to go with Steve Nash, though, or Allen Iverson, though. I love Steve Nash. My mom is watching. I call, not only is Bob, aka the original Skap, on the stream now, my mom is also watching, and she's a big Steve Nash fan, as was I. I like Steve Nash a lot. And maybe some of my answer now might be factoring in how much of a bootlicking, jock sniffing sycophant this guy has become on the Mind the Game pod with LeBron now. But I think I'm going to go with AI. I'm going to go with Iverson ever so slightly above Steve Nash. Neither of them won a championship. Iverson got to a championship, single-handedly kind of carried a team to a championship, beat the juggernaut Laker team that lost no games otherwise in that NBA Finals that he made his appearance in. He led the league in scoring 4 times. I think he led the league in steals 3 times. And he led the league in minutes played a bunch of years. I think I'm going to go with Allen Iverson ever so slightly, though. Great question, Xavier. Gary, what do you disagree with me on that?
Absolutely not. Iverson's the first name that came to mind, and I don't even think it's close, really. I mean, Steve Nash and Ray Allen would be like 2 and 3. And then I'm looking down, Jermaine O'Neal. He was really good. He had some injuries, didn't he? His career got cut short a little bit, if I'm not mistaken, didn't it?
Yeah. And he also got caught up in the Malice at the Palace suspensions too. So he was suspended there. But yeah, he was a really good player. There was a stretch of time where, I mean, it was a short period of time, but like 5-6 years where he was an elite player. He was an all-star every year. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive all-star appearances. Those were his only 6 all-star appearances. And he made 3 all-NBA distinctions over that period of time, 2 third team and 1 second team. And then, I mean, he was basically a 20 and 10 per game average guy through that whole span of time. His best year being 2004, 2005. He only played 44 games that year, though, but 24 points and 9 rebounds per game. Pretty good. So, yeah, he was a pretty elite player. But, yeah, by the age of basically 30, he was just washed up. So, yeah, and he missed a lot of games on the back end there and wasn't really healthy the rest of the time. But yeah, good point there. But, yeah, I would say AI. But then Xavier's back in right after in this back-to-back super chat from Xavier with a follow-up, another Steve Nash question. He's wondering, do I have Steve Nash or Jay Kidd? You know, Gary, this is another good question, a tough question. I think Jason Kidd, for the totality of his career, was better than Steve Nash. I think Jason Kidd had a better total career, and I would guess Jason Kidd had a lot more all-star selections, a lot more all-NBA designations. He was a great defender too, which Steve Nash was not. And to bear that out, I'm just going to look it up. 10-time NBA All-Star Jason Kidd, 5-time All-NBA first team, 4 All-NBA first team defensive selections. Then he was 5-time second team. So he made 10 All-NBA designations, either first or second team. That's an impressive run for Jay Kidd. Steve Nash, meanwhile, Steve Nash was an 8-time All-Star, so not much below, but 3 first teams, 2 second teams. So 5 All-NBA designations to 10 for Jason Kidd. So I think Jason Kidd overall had a better career. And again, he was a very elite defender. Steve Nash was not that. But I'm going to ever so slightly on this question give the advantage to Steve Nash because I am more of a peak player. Like I look more at peaks and primes and like how good were you like when you were at your absolute best? Like how good were you versus your peer set? And like Jason Kidd has no league MVPs. Steve Nash has 2 league MVPs. Obviously, I think Steve Nash stole one of those MVPs from Kobe Bryant, and Kobe should have had the one in 2005, 2006. Nonetheless, Steve Nash has it, and he has one other one either the year before or the year after. He had 2 back-to-back. So I'm going to go with Steve Nash here as my answer as being better than Jason Kidd, but it's tight. Next in is he a real one radio? Vada. Interesting handle. Is he a real one radio? Welcome in. Thank you for finding us here, and thank you for supporting us here with your generous donation. I do appreciate it. Is he a real one radio? Gary, what do they have for a question or comment for us?
The issue with Jeff Teague's comment is that he could have anyone as an example if he thought all defensive selections were overrated.
Yeah, it's weird. I needed to find the footage. It wasn't a video, and he didn't put it out as part of a video. These comments trashing Kobe. So I had to go do some investigative work to find, because I wanted to show the comments in the video I made that I was referencing. So I had to go find it. It was part of a live stream. It was an hour and 19-minute live stream, and he was actually answering super chats when he got into this. And it didn't have anything to do with defense. There was no question about Kobe Bryant's defense. There was no question about all NBA defensive selections or elite defensive players. There was a question that he was answering, or a comment from a person named Juice was the handle. And the comment from Juice was, no way KD, I'm paraphrasing, no way KD was a better scorer than Kobe. Like Kobe, like KD doesn't even have a single 60-point game. Kobe scored 54 times. Anyway, he trails off and he talks about why and how Kobe is a better scorer than Kevin Durant. And then, for no reason, like literally no reason, like Jeff T is literally answering this question about Kobe being a good scorer. And then he's like, and let me just tell you something about defense. Like, they just put anybody on that. Like Kobe, he wasn't defending like that, bro. Like I played against Kobe. I'm telling you right now, 12 all-league defensive selections. He wasn't defending like that, bro. I'm telling you, he wasn't. Like, that is exactly how it went down. I have no idea what prompted this delusional rant by scrub ass Jeff Teague. But I talk about it in my video. Teague is only 37. He's been out of the NBA for 5 years. This dude washed out of the league at 32. He's now at 37, slandering Kobe Bryant. And I looked into his career. He somehow made an all-star appearance. I have no idea how that is. But Jeff Teague made an all-star appearance one time. It was in 2014, 2015. He averaged 15.9 points per game and 7 assists per game that year. Doesn't sound like all-star numbers to me. So if we're talking about things that are undeserving or that we need to relitigate now in hindsight, maybe we should look how his bum ass made an all-star appearance with 15.9 and 7 per game, because we sure know he wasn't earning that all-star nod on his defensive capabilities. So that's a great point. Go ahead, Gary. You're muted right now.
Breaking news. Since what we were talking about, Jalen Williams has just signed a 5-year maximum rookie contract extension that could reach $287 million. We are just talking about that.
Thank you, Gary. I thought, I don't know if you saw me, I perked up. I thought you were going to tell me Bradley Beal has been bought out and is signed with the Clippers, or Al Horford is going to Denver. I thought that was it, but instead it wasn't one of those things. But no, it is just so Jalen Williams. So there you go, 280. So he might, so as much as 280. So there you have it. They are going to be paying. This is just craziness. With the 3 new extensions, here we go. Gilgeous-Alexander officially signed a 4-year, $285 million Supermax Tuesday. Holmgren reached a 5-year, $250 million max Wednesday, with the 3 new extensions totaling up to $822 million. $822 million. That's a lot of scratch for 3 cats. And you still have this other thing, these other guys that I've been talking about, like Lou Dort combined with Isaiah Hartenstein are making like 50 million. They're 28 and 17 million. That's like almost 50 million between those two. So like you got 5 guys now making like 250 million or so. Is that right? Can that be right? The salary cap's 150 and they still have like 7 other guys under contract. How is Oklahoma City getting away with this? Like, obviously they're going to win another championship, as I speculated that they're going to, but that's nuts. Gary, thank you for intervening there with that breaking news. Absolutely crazy. Oh boy, we've got model fit in here. I'm just gonna go. We're just gonna go by model body fit is the new handle that we're just gonna go for here. He's lathered up in the pic. He's all tanned up. He's got the Speedo on. Gary, go ahead and read. Thank you, by the way. Dylan, I think was the actual the previous handle. But we'll go by model body fit from now on. Thank you, brother, for finding me and for your continued support. Gary, go ahead and read this one.
Oh, snap. What's up, Skap? Yo, Kobe slander lately?
Yes, model body fit. As you know, I've been railing off against the Kobe slander for a little bit of this live stream, and I think 3 of my last 4 videos, in fact, were on just that. So it's just crazy to me. It's wild. I'm not seeking it out. I'm not trying to find it. Like, it's just happening and I can't help but talk about it. So I guess look for more because I'm going to keep doing more as people keep slandering and belittling Kobe Bryant. I'm sorry. I will not stand for it. But thank you for finding us here. And I think, actually, we've got another one back to back from Model Body Fit. Go ahead, Gary, read the second one.
Where does Jeff Teague get off talking about Kobe? How?
Yeah, hopefully you're still on. This was about a half an hour ago you sent these. Hopefully you're still on and you could have seen everything I just said and talked about in the last 5 to 10 minutes about Jeff Teague's bum ass and why I don't even know why that even came up. Like, why bring that up even? And then to the point of that other super chat here by Is He a Real One? Like, you could come up with other names than Kobe's name if that's what you want to talk about, or that's the direction that you want to go. So I don't know. Jeff Teague just needs to keep his mouth shut and keep Kobe's name out his mouth is all I'm asking from Jeff Teague. Next in, we've got Karthik Shankaran. Karthik, yet again, another regular here on the stream. Many thanks for finding us, Karthik. I do appreciate you. Gary, go ahead and read this one.
Thunder gave $822 million to their top 3. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, we just kind of broke that news. So let me just look, because like I said, the salary cap for next year has been set. It's at 154. So let me get the old adding machine out here, if I may. Stand by here. Just getting the old abacus out here. All right. So we've got Shea making 72 mil. Okay, stay with me on this. We've got Chet making 50 mil. We've got Jalen now making 50 mil. Let's see what else. We've got Isaiah Hartenstein making 28 mil. We've got Lou Dort making 17 mil. We've got Isaiah Joe making 12. How do they have the luxury for Isaiah Joe at 12 mil? We've got Aaron Wiggins at 9 mil. We've got Cason Wallace at 6. Nikola Topic at 5. And Dylan Jones at 3. Okay. The Oklahoma City Thunder salary for next season now is at $259 million. $259. That is over $100 million over the salary cap. How? Like, how in the world is that happening? Like, I get that there's a breachable cap. I understand it's not a hard cap. But in this era of punitive actions that are taken on repeat offenders, I guess they're not a repeat offender, but they will be within like the next 2 to 3 years, because they're going to be paying $260 million out for the next 2 or 3 years now annually. So they're going to be destroying the second apron. I think the luxury tax is at like 174. The first apron is at 195, and the second apron is at like 212. So the second apron is at 212. They're at 260. Like, how can they get away? How can they be allowed to get away with this? Like, I just don't understand. This seems not fair. That they've been able to penetrate the cap to this level just because they possessed their rights. Because they were extending them. It seems like this is some kind of a loophole that needs to be addressed swiftly in some kind of I don't know if you can make an amendment to the CBA, but I think something needs to be done about this. This just doesn't seem fair to me. My thoughts, though, Karthik, is the Thunder have the best team in the NBA by far. So why not go to whatever level they can, if they can, to keep all of them? It looks like they will, other than Case and Wallace, who they're probably going to lose, if not next year, the following year. Next in, we've got Ivan NBG 62. Ooh, from my main man coming in here from Serbia. What is up, Ivan? Welcome to you. Thank you for finding us here at this unique time here. Gary, what does Ivan have from Serbia for us?
ESPN didn't talk about the documentary about the 08 Redeem team, where all the players and Coach K talked about how Kobe changed the mentality of that team.
Yeah, so of course Kobe came in, saved the United States of America, saved LeBron James from getting another non-gold, saved Carmelo Anthony, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade. He saved all of those players from again the embarrassment of not getting a gold medal in the Olympics for a second time in a row, and he saved the United States the humiliation by coming in on his white stallion. Kobe Bryant rode in on his white steed and saved the United States of America, rescued them, and got them gold. But if you see Mike Krzyzewski talk about it, Kobe didn't do much offensively, really, until he was needed in the Spain gold medal game. Kobe was just, a 15, 16 point per game scorer throughout much of the tournament, just kind of fitting his role. And then when they really needed it in the gold medal game in the fourth against Spain, where he scored or assisted on like 20 straight points down the stretch to rescue them. But other than that, Kobe mainly just did it, in the context of the team, and he defended. If you see, so what Ivan is referencing here, Mike Krzyzewski said basically like, Kobe came in, I'm paraphrasing this, but this is direct from Mike Krzyzewski, that Kobe came in as whatever, the leading, like the best scorer in the NBA, one of the best scorers ever in NBA history, came in and basically Coach K was thinking like, well, how am I gonna figure out how to get Kobe to take a step back on a shot and like not like, over dominate the ball, how to like share and work within the context of the team offense and stuff with all these other great players. Well, according to Coach K, Kobe came in and said, day one, I don't need the ball. I don't need to shoot. I want the best guy on the other team every time. I want the best perimeter guy on the other team. I want him every time. That was what Kobe Bryant asked of Mike Krzyzewski on day one. And Coach K was like, that's when I knew that we were going to have something special. And Kobe did. He took that defensive tenacity into the tournament and into those Olympic games. And yeah, that's a good point, Ivan, that was not discussed for whatever reason. I don't see that being discussed around the interwebs on social media. So that is an excellent point. I'm sorry, actually, it's Evan, I believe, right? It's more of an E, right? I think, Gary, I think Don't send another super chat, Evan. Just confirm in the regular live chat if you can that it's more Evan. I think we were talking. I talk with. I'm gonna presume Evan. We talk offline. So we were chatting on WhatsApp recently, and he actually brought this up. He brought this great Redeem Team point up to me offline actually, and we had a conversation about it on WhatsApp. And now thank you for sharing it and letting me discuss it here, Evan, on here. But I think I want to say that you told me that your name is not pronounced Ivan; it's more Evan with an E. So if Gary, keep an eye out on just the regular live. Again, do not send a super chat for that, Evan. You don't need to send me a super chat to make sure I'm pronouncing your name right. And there actually is a second follow-up already, a second super chat follow-up from Evan already. So thank you very much for coming back in already and supporting the channel. Gary, go ahead and read this latest one.
They have to cancel players' podcasts. They are not the new media. They have the same toxic narratives. For me, JJ podcast was okay, and Kobe's details was best.
Yeah, that I feel like I don't think that the commish has the stones to try to outlaw players from doing this, active players. Go ahead, Gary. I see there was a correction by go ahead and read that from.
He says Ivan more like E than I.
Okay. So it is more like Evan, I think, than not Ivan. So okay. So thank you. Sorry that I continue to butcher that, Evan. And I don't think, as I was saying, I don't think Commissioner Silver has the stones to outlaw these. And I'm sure the players would cry about like free speech and all that BS. But if it were up to me, I would like to see active NBA players are not allowed to have podcasts, at least not during the season. If you want to do it after the season or whatever, like the LeBron mind the game BS, which I don't like it, but whatever. If you want to do it after the season's over, fine. But I don't want players like Draymond Green, for instance, like going to his hotel room on road trips and recording podcasts. It's ridiculous. I think we absolutely should do away with that. That's a great point. And I wish Silver would do it. Like I said, he lacks the stones to do it, though, I'm sure. Just one of the many things that he can't get done as his tenure as commissioner of the NBA. Karthik is back in and actually is right. I missed Alex Caruso actually when I was adding this up. So that could be upwards of like 280 mil now. They're in effect, they're nearly doubling the salary cap. Like, how can they get away with this? Like, it's astonishing actually when you look at this. I want to actually just look real quick at team. I'm looking at highest team salaries to see if I could get okay. I mean, some of these contracts haven't quite hit yet. Okay, here we go. 2025, 2026 expected team salaries. This will not include Oklahoma City, who has not been refreshed and up to date. Obviously, a lot of these deals have just been signed. Cleveland for next league year has $231 million on the books. Phoenix, the Phoenix Suns, who aren't even now, obviously they're going to get some of this off the books with the Beal stretch whenever presumably that goes down, if it ever goes down. But for right now, as we talk today, the Phoenix Suns, who likely won't even make the play-in tournament next year, are on the hook for $220 million. Again, the salary cap is $154. It's like $75 million over. They're firmly in the second apron. Dallas, the Mavericks, $215 million. Boston still, with all the wheelings and dealings they've done to try to get under apron level, they're still at $206 million. New York, the Knicks at $205 million. Minnesota, the Timberwolves at $202 million. Houston, $197. Why even have a salary cap? The salary cap is $154 million. Like, every team is over that. There are literally 3 teams in the entire league for next year that are under 154. Chicago, Utah, and Brooklyn. That's it. So I just don't understand. And many of these teams are like firmly in the second apron. Cleveland's in the second apron, Phoenix, Dallas. Okay, that's it. Only 3 teams in the second apron, but in the first apron, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other teams. So you have like 11 teams in the apron, and then 27 teams in the luxury tax zone. So I don't know, like, why even have a luxury tax? But or why have a salary cap at this point? But with all of that said, 230 for Cleveland. We've got like Oklahoma City sitting at 270. Like, are they going to be allowed to get away with that? Like, I don't know. That seems exorbitantly high and well over the level. So I don't know. I don't know how teams are supposed to compete with that. But anywhoozy, Gary, I think now would probably be a time. It is nearly 5 p.m. I've got a little dinner coming up here, guys. I like to just talk to you in general. So on my way out, I just want to out myself here. You guys all know I'm a big sports fan. You know, I'm also a big movie buff. I have this weekly tradition with a group of friends where there's anywhere between 7 to 12-ish people that show up generally. We show up, we eat dinner, we hang out, and we watch, this is what we call it, trash TV. So that's what it's called. Like, what night is trash TV going to be on this week? So tonight, trash TV is on, and we typically watch a show that is so terrible that we can just sit and make fun of it and talk over it and kind of hang out while we're watching it. The franchise that we typically watch is the Bachelor franchise. So I'm talking Bachelor, Bachelorette, and Bachelor in Paradise. I'm a big fan. It's so bad, it's good. It's like the Fast and Furious franchise. It's so bad, it's so crappy, it's good. And that tonight, Bachelor in Paradise aired. The new season of Bachelor in Paradise aired on Monday. There's 2 episodes stored up Monday and Tuesday. So I'm going to dinner with a group of friends to watch the first 2 episodes of this season's Bachelor in Paradise. You guys could clown me if you want, but guys, it is delicious programming. You gotta watch it if you're not watching it. There is just so much going on, so many moving pieces in it, so much drama. I just can't get enough of it. So I will be. Gary, go ahead. Gary wants to interject.
So you're skipping Cooper Flagg's debut tonight in the summer league?
Is that tonight? Yes, I am skipping Cooper Flagg's debut, Gary. I will. Okay. Is it going to be televised?
I think it's on NBA TV.
Okay. Well, I do get NBA TV. I will set the DVR now. I will make sure that it is stored in my cloud DVR.
Wait, it looks like it may be ESPN.
Okay, perfect. So
ESPN.
So I could easily find that. Sorry, I was just petting my little buddy Luna. I could easily locate that and get it on the DVR. I will watch Cooper Flagg's debut, but I will not be watching it till later tonight or sometime tomorrow because I will be watching Bachelor in Paradise, guys. So I need to go square up my dinner arrangements. I think we're doing pizza tonight too, by the way, which I love pizza. It's my favorite food on earth. So that's just another Skap factoid for you guys. But we have reached the conclusion of these super chats. I think go ahead, Gary.
I had a couple comments. Well, I haven't even mentioned.
Oh, wait, Gary, real quick. Before you do that, Karthik did come in with one more. Go ahead and read Karthik's real fast.
First take with Stephen A. Smith might be a good choice.
Oh, for trash TV. I see what he's doing. Okay, yeah, because you're right. For Stephen A. Smith, does produce trash TV, Karthik. That is a good take there. I agree with you. Gary, go ahead with your couple points here.
I was just going to say, because we haven't talked since the draft, I think if Denver is healthy, what did I tell you? I told you that in 2023 with Bruce Brown, who we now have back, I'm telling you, if Denver is healthy, I think they can win it this year. I think they can beat OKC.
I'll say this. I love the additions that Denver's made. I think they are a true contender. I did not think they were a true contender last year.
Right.
I thought they were going to probably be out in the second round. They were. I think now they are a viable contending team in that they can beat any team in the NBA if things go their way. I still believe they are the third best team in the league, though. I will not move them above Oklahoma City. So I think what I'm saying is Oklahoma City should beat them in a 7-game series. I think Oklahoma City is better and will likely win. But I do believe, unlike last year, that the Thunder have, or that the Nuggets have a shot. That
Who do you think wins? Who do you think wins? The 2023 Nuggets or this OKC that just won a championship? If you think
Oklahoma City probably should beat them. I don't know if they would have. But Oklahoma City was the better team, is the better team, in my opinion.
Then the 23 Nuggets?
Yes. But maybe the Nuggets would have won, though, because they had the pieces they needed. I'll say this, though, Gary. Don't sleep on the Rockets. I think the Rockets are above the Nuggets as well. I think in a vacuum, in a talent for talent, what should happen, the Nuggets should lose to Oklahoma City in a 7-game series, and they should lose to the Houston Rockets in a 7-game series. Now, Nikola Jokic is significantly better than any player on the Rockets. And I'm sorry, he is significantly better than any player on the Thunder. So maybe Nikola Jokic can make something happen now that he has better complementary pieces and that his bench is better. Maybe Nikola Jokic can get it done because now he at least has a viable, competitive lineup like he didn't last year. But the Rockets are going to be a problem. It wasn't just KD. I love what that means for them, but they also signed, they steal Dorian Finney-Smith away from the LA Lakers. So I really like the Rockets are really deep, and they're defensively oriented other than KD. And it's just going to be, I think, quite frankly, Gary, I think the Rockets might be able to beat the Thunder in a 7-game series. So really the big thing is going to be, where does Denver get to in the regular season? They gotta come with it and try to get the 2 seed ideally. Oklahoma City just won nearly 70 games. They're going to be the 1 seed again. So can Denver get the 2 over Oklahoma? Because the Rockets were the 2 last year. So, and now they add KD. So that is huge to me. Because if the Nuggets get that 2, maybe they can avoid the Rockets. Maybe the Rockets will have to play Oklahoma City first and that they could sort each other out. Or, God forbid, if it is the Rockets playing the Nuggets in the second round, the Nuggets are going to need home court advantage in that series. So can the Nuggets get the 2 in the West? If they can, maybe. But I still think they're fighting an uphill battle, even though they're much better now, Gary, than last year. So is Houston, and Oklahoma City is still better, in my opinion.
Right. Well, my other just quick thought is, you know how the NBA is desperately looking for their new face of the league. I honestly think they have it now. I think it's going to be Cooper Flagg. What do you think?
Yeah, no, definitely. I not in the immediacy. It'll probably have to wait for 2 years.
2 to 3 years. Right.
Yeah, 2-3 years. But within 3 years, I think he's going to, you can mark it down right now. Sorry, little Luna wanted to come say hi. You can mark it down right now. I think Cooper Flagg and his rookie will be rookie of the year this year easily. I think he will average 20 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists this season. So mark that down. And then within the next 3 seasons, I think he will be a perennial first-team All-NBA selection player. So, like, basically what Luka Doncic has become. Like, where Luka, anytime he's healthy, he's first-team All-NBA. That's going to be Cooper Flagg here really, really soon, like within 2 to 3 years. So I think when he reaches that level, he's going to become the face of the NBA.
Yep. And I did confirm it is indeed ESPN tonight at 8 o'clock.
Okay, awesome. So ESPN, 8 o'clock, Cooper Flagg debut. I will set the DVR so I don't miss it while I'm watching Bachelor in Paradise.
Well, no, you can turn the game on for Trash TV because Bronny James is going to be playing. He's playing the Lakers.
Oh,
so there you go, Bronny James.
Wow, that's
fits right in the concept of Trash TV.
So wait, okay, boy, maybe Luka will be there at courtside. Maybe Luka and LeBron will be there to take in the game, possibly.
Probably not, but I mean, I guess it's possible. Oh, it appears there's a game on now. I didn't even know. The Pelicans and Timberwolves are playing right now. I didn't know they played this early.
Interesting. Well, I'll have to make sure I set the DVR, but I'm not going anywhere just yet, guys, because Evan has come back in with another super chat. Thank you again, my Serbian brother. Gary, go ahead and read this one.
My country almost beat USA. Do you think the downfall of USA team is near because they don't have the majority of their players as best players?
Yeah, Serbia should have won that game. There was some BS moving screen violation thing that netted the U.S. It was like a 6-point play in the last 2.5 minutes of the game when they were down 8 ish. So they would have lost that game, and Jokic would have won the gold. But yeah, I think look, the U.S. The world is better than America now at basketball, in my opinion. If you just compiled the best 12 to 14 global players and then compiled the best 12 to 14 United States born players, I think the world team beats that team fairly easily, probably 4-1 or 4-2 in a 7-game series. But the U.S., their best players versus any other country's collection of best players, the U.S. is likely always going to be able to win gold unless they choke, which they were doing against Serbia, I think. So I do believe that America is still going to win gold for several years to come. But who knows? I mean, the world is surpassing. The world has surpassed the U.S. Maybe there will be one specific country. France has a lot of elite players now, led by Victor Wembanyama. But last year's #1 overall pick, Richardze or whatever his name was, Victor Richardze, I believe. He is the #1 overall pick. And then his countryman was like the 3rd pick overall or something last year. So there is a lot of high caliber, at least draft collateral players from France in the last couple of years. Maybe they're a team that if they actually send all their top players, maybe they can make the U.S. sweat. Canada is another one led by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So, who knows? We'll see. I still think push comes to shove, gun to my head, I would still probably take the U.S. Against any other collection of individual countries' best players. But if you just pull all the best players from around the world, I think it's definitively the world that would win. I think the U.S. has been surpassed in that perspective. And Evan, back in again. Thank you very much again for coming back in here and continually supporting us on the live stream. I do appreciate it. Gary, go ahead and read this most recent one.
Kobe appreciated international players because he said he learned and worked on his fundamentals while growing up in Italy. He predicted Jokic as MVP.
He did. He predicted Jokic and Giannis as MVP. And yes, Kobe, Yes, Kobe was born in the United States. He was born in Philadelphia, and then he, I believe, was moved overseas to Italy when his dad, Joe Jellybean Bryant, bought a stake in an Italian professional basketball team. I think Kobe was 2 years old at the time. So, yes, he was born in the United States. He was raised by American parents, but for all intents and purposes, Kobe was raised overseas. To me, Kobe had more of a foreign feel throughout his entire career. Like his game was more predicated on skill. Really, he was an athletic player, but I think his game was more predicated on skill than athleticism. And we know Kobe was multilingual. He spoke several languages. I think he spoke 4 to 5 different languages fluently, and then a collection of other languages that he just learned to trash talk various other players. And yes, he worked with other players. He worked with Hakeem Olajuwon in off seasons on his footwork. And Kobe was a great student and scholar of the game. He was consistently looking for ways to get better and people to work with. And yes, Kobe was a big supporter of the global push. Kobe was royalty overseas. When the Olympics, I think he was in Beijing at one point, and he, like, Kobe looked like the Beatles basically when they came to America back in the day. Like, Kobe is something else overseas. So Kobe respects the international game and international players, and he was respected by the international community of basketball fans. So great point, Evan. And Gary, did you have anything else?
No, not really. I guess we're getting ready to go off because that was the last super chat of the day. I just wanted to say I love what Denver did. I think they're going to be right back there and have another chance to pick up where they left off in 2023 now that they've dropped a lot of the dead weight in Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah, and I think just the overall depth of the team can't be understated, I think, including, I mean, you got Brown now off the bench, Hardaway off the bench, Jonas Valanciunas off the bench, and they still, I'm pretty sure they still have a $5 million vet minimum that they could deploy as well because they're not a tax violator now. So
would Chris Paul be a good addition?
Maybe. I don't know if he's willing to go outside of LA, but
right.
But I would say this: try to get Russell Westbrook back now that they have the availability and space possibly to do it. And if not, maybe go look and try to bring in Chris Paul, or maybe still shoot a qualifying offer to Al Horford, maybe get more size. Who knows? So they might not be done. Like, they still do have $5 million left that they could deploy. So yeah, it will be interesting to see what else they can out, what else they do. The front office has significantly exceeded my expectations to this point. So shout out to those guys, those new hires, Ben Tenzer, and I think Wallace is named John Wallace, I want to say. And I guess even a little tip of the cap is due to Josh Kroenke, who hired them and who is working in conjunction with them for exceeding my expectations. I'm sure it's caught Nikola Jokic's attention. So even though
better than Calvin Booth, if they still had Booth, they'd have no one right now, most likely.
Definitely. So, we'll keep an eye on that. Not sure when we will be back again. This was just a spur of the moment thing. I've just been seeing all these things going on and wanted to hop on and talk about it. So I shot a message to Gary to see if he would be willing to come on. And so he was. And here we were then today for 2.5 hours here in the lounge. Many thanks to you guys that did join us here. We do appreciate it. I guess please do stay, keep your eyes out. I guess the best thing I would say is, well, first of all, make sure that you subscribe to Gary828 Sports channel. He did drop that link earlier on his new video. So make sure you get over there and check out Gary's content. And of course, make sure you're subscribed to me. If you're not, please do that. We're almost getting ready to hit 80,000 subscribers now. So I think we're about 900 off of that threshold. So please do spread the word to help me get there, and click those notifications. Turn the notifications on. That is the best way to stay up to date with whenever a video might come out. And these random ass lives, which I only give you like an hour or two at most notice before I hop on. If you have the notifications turned on, you will be alerted right away that Skap's going on live. So if you guys are interested in keeping up to date with me on that front, please turn the notifications on. And I will be on at some point. Maybe I'll come on and talk about Cooper Flag. Maybe I'll do another live tomorrow and talk about Cooper Flag. Maybe. Who knows? Or something. Maybe one of these guys are going to sign at some point. Al Horford, Bradley Beal, Chris Paul, and I could come on and talk about that. Until then, though, guys, I hope you have a good rest of your week. If I don't come on and do another live, have a good weekend. And I will see you sometime very soon. Until then, though, guys, take care.